So you're gonna tell me that you don't have no black cats, no Roman candles, or screaming mimes?
No.
Oh, come on, man. You don't got no lady fingers, buzz buttles, snicker bombs, church burners, finger blasters, gut busters, zippity doo-dahs, or crap flappers?
No, I don't.
Well, happy Independence Day, everybody. What we do have tonight is smoked porters. So this is a revisit back to Malty Monday when we do a style. And everybody here on panel does have a smoked porter for tonight. We did have a few gentlemen that would have liked to have joined up on the show, but they could not find a smoked porter. So I want to say cheers to Alex Beermaster and cheers to Beerman as well.
It's tough style, man.
Yeah.
Hard to find.
Let's welcome in our panel members. Tonight we have miscellaneous brew reviews, East Coast LQ reviews.
Cheers, guys.
And myself, Bumpy Road. Cheers to the chat. Also, Cabocco Carlos.
Hey, deep diver.
And Julie, cheers to you, Jules. And Robin Rocks, hello. Thank you. And Ron Sutton as well.
Hamming it up.
Yeah, Dio's actually, he's driving under the influence, but he's driving he's driving his chair, his little roller chair in his room. Yeah,
I sure hope so.
This is not the time of year you want to
DUI holiday weekend.
Cheers to Joe, the Beer Patrol as well. Hello. Welcome. Let's get this show going. As I can remember from, what was it, a year or so ago, Malty Monday would start off with me kind of reading about the beer style. So
I've never been on Multi Monday, so
First
never
in
been
line.
on. Well, welcome. Glad we could pop your cherry on the 4th of July. It goes under the other smoked beer category in BJCP. It'd be 22B. They say the aromas, so this is going to be classified as a bunch of different things, but you just got to kind of think of the style that you have. We are doing a porter. The aroma should be a pleasant balance between the expected aroma of the base beer, example, a robust porter, and the smokiness imparted by the use of the smoked malts. The intensity and character of the smoke in base beer style can vary, with either being prominent in the balance. Smokiness may vary from low to assertive. However, balance in the overall presentation is the key to well-made examples. Quality and secondary characteristics of the smoke are reflective of the source of the smoke. It could be peat, alder, oak, beechwood. Sharp, phenolic, harsh, rubbery, or burnt smoke derived aromatics are inappropriate. Appearance. Well, it's going to be looking like a porter, hopefully. Flavor. As with the aromas, there should be a balance between smokiness and expected flavor characteristics of the beer style. Smokiness may vary from low to assertive. Smoky flavors may range from woody to somewhat bacon-like. There you go. Some bacon there for you, Tanner. Some bacon-like, depending on the type of malts used. Peat smoked malt can add an earthiness. The balance of underlying beer characteristics and smoke can vary, although the resulting blend should be somewhat balanced and enjoyable. Smoke can add some dryness to the finish. Harsh, bitter, burnt, charred, rubbery, sulfury, or phenolic smoky characteristics are generally inappropriate, although some of these characters may be present in some base styles. However, the smoked malt shouldn't contribute these flavors. The mouthfeel varies by whatever style you have. Significant astringent phenolic smoke derived harshness is inappropriate, though. Overall impression is any beer that is exhibiting smoke as a principal flavor and aroma characteristic other than the Bamberg style, the Rauch beer, which would be like Beechwood, Smoke Mars, and balance the use of the smoke, hops, and malt character is exhibited by the better examples. Comments, yeah, just any beer style smoked. Goal is to reach a pleasant balance between the smoke character and the base beer. A bit of history. The process of using smoked malts more recently has been adapted by craft brewers to other styles, notably porter and strong Scotch ales. German brewers have traditionally used smoked malts in Bock, Doppelbock, Weizen, Dunkel, Schwarzbiers, Helles, Pilsner, and other specialty styles. I'm not going to go through the ingredients. We are done reading about the smoked beer. I hope you guys all got a little lesson tonight on that.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and if Miscellaneous wants to start us off and just showcase, give us show us what beer you're bringing and just give it a pour and
I was
talk
going to
about
ask
at
you
least
that.
the
It's been so
looks of
long.
it, and then we'll go around and get through it again.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to ask you that. It's been so long, I forgot how it ran. All right. So I've got something here semi-local. I've got something out of, where are they? Oakland Park, Florida. This is from Funky Buddha. This is part of the Living Barrel series. This is their whiskey barrel aged Morning Wood. So quick rundown of what this is. Funky Buddha, they have their maple bacon smoked porter that they put out every year. This is their barrel aged imperial version of that. This is a vintage 2019 bottle. Comes in at, I believe, 11.2%. On Beer Advocate as it stands, I'm sure has been updated in a while. This is ranked #1 for Imperial Porter on Beer Advocate. But you know how that is. Anyways, let's go ahead and pour this up. I did cut the wax. I should be able to. Yeah, there we go. Boop. God damn it. Oh, there we go. Still got some hiss. That's good. Cannon smoke. And proper glassware. Got it at the brewery. So, and the great thing about this, it's before they sold out the Constellation, so this should still be pretty good.
For a second, I thought that was a cork on top.
That is much darker than the non-imperial version. Yeah, very crispy, crackly, soapy looking, rocky head. It's fizzling out quick. You got one finger on there, very dark, opaque colored beer. I don't even pick up any colors down even in the reservoir. Very, very dark. Oh yeah. I'm excited for this one. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, man.
Thank you, Miss Lance.
Awesome. All right. So actually, I got something from Shades On Beer Company. Now, these guys are 141 Fairgrounds Road, West Kingston, Rhode Island. If you want to check them out, you go to shadesonbeerco.com. It's 6.2% alcohol by volume. This is their, it's kind of bright, 480 Otis smoked porter. So I have Beer Advocate here. It's got a little bit of notes. It says dark and full body like Behemoth himself. A moderate chocolatey sweetness rounded out by Alder Smoked Munich Malt. Named after the Katmai National Park Fat Beer Week 2021 champion. So, yeah, so I'm guessing that's the whole 480 Otis. It's named after an actual beer, a bear that won Fat Beer Week. So yeah, let's pour this up. Let's pour this up. Sheesh, English is hard today. All right, I got my big little stout glass. Oh, shooting out of the can. Now I believe the only other smoked beer that I've had recently, oh Lord, look at that, was that smoked peach Goza. Yeah, that's foaming up like crazy. Color of it, I'd say definitely a pitch black in appearance, but at the reservoir. I like that description right there, miscellaneous. At the reservoir, it's a nice ruby hue, so there is a little bit of clarity to it. It's a cocoa, like coffee cream, about 4-finger head. I didn't really pour it too aggressive, but yeah, it definitely foamed up really quick. Very crackly, like you said. Holding some good retention and some decent effervescence. You guys can see that? Oh yeah, it's bumping up a little bit. But yeah, it looks good. And I looked at Untapped. This had a 4.7 out of 5 on Untapped, and on Beer Advocate, I don't think there was enough scores to actually give it a rating. But the people that were on Untapped, for the most part, enjoyed it. So I'm excited to try this, and it's definitely a style that I believe I've never actually visited before. So I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about yours. And I like smoky. Smoky's a good flavor to me. I like peated Scotch, which has that smoky peat moss. So I'm not scared of smoke. I actually really do like the smoky flavor. Even the smoky cheeses are pretty good as well. And yeah, awesome to be on the first Malty Monday with you guys. I actually had to go back and watch a video of one of your Malty Mondays to see how you kind of ran things down, just so I kind of had a little bit of insight on how we went about doing the show. But yeah, cheers, guys.
Cheers. And remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Yeah,
I
right.
know. Fair.
You like smoking so much. All right.
Yeah, right.
And I also have a bear on my beer can. This is a smoked porter. It comes at 6.4% from Throwback Brewery. They're out of Hampton. I believe it's just Hampton. Northampton. They're out of Northampton, New Hampshire. This one's called Campfire. It's warming his belly. Let's pour this one up.
Wait, do we all have a beer from our state?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that is cool.
They're hard enough to find, so yeah. So this just says Campfire is a full-bodied, robust smoked porter. We put a lot of love into this beer. They hand smoked the local malt on New Hampshire applewood, so they actually used applewood smoke. They should get applewood, anyways. Smokiness of this. All right, cool. It's got a lighter head, not as large of a head either as Tanner's. Fairly tight bubbles. Might last. It might stick around for a little bit. Color is definitely a brown. It's got some kind of reddish hues to the bottom from the light a little bit, but it does have like light shades of brown caramel almost going up the sides a little bit there. So that's what she looks like. And yeah, there's some hints of smoke, a little bit of smoky woodiness to that. So we'll go back to miscellaneous so he can give us a rundown of what his beer smells, tastes, feels like, stuff like that.
All right. So yeah, like I said, didn't stick around. I knew it wasn't gonna. Too fizzly and crackly. All right, so the nose, man, I'm definitely getting maple. Maple. There's a smokiness to it, picking up a nice barrel, oaky barrel quality to it. There's a little bit of coffee. I didn't mention that there is coffee in this. It smells very decadent, a bit on the sweet side. Yeah, this smells fantastic. A lot more robust, a lot more rich than the smaller version. I think clocks in at like 6.5%, I believe. So let's get into it, boys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, there you go. Now you can see it.
Nice.
body to it, for sure. Light body. Almost absolutely no carbonation going on in this. Minimal at best. Maple syrup's big. Vanilla, slight oakiness. No tannins. Not getting any tannins out of this. Vanilla, bacon. This is my biggest gripe with this beer. They say bacon. I don't really get a bacon flavor out of it. I understand it's a very hard thing to put into a beer and make it actually taste like bacon. BuMpY had that one that's got good. That bacon beer.
That actually had bacon in it.
It has bacon in it. But honestly, I think there is a saltiness to it, which plays in well with the decadent sweetness. So you get a little umami. That's pretty much what I can say about that on the bacon. Coffee's there. This is an older beer from 2019, so faded out a little bit. It's actually quite nice. I think it's pretty. It's well rounded. Sometimes you get that coffee stout or that coffee porter, and you're like, oh, good God, too much coffee. Man, I think this is going to score as high as I thought it was going to. I had high hopes for this beer, and I've been holding on to it for over a year now. Overall, not bad. I don't have anything to compare it to because it's the only one that I've had. In 2018, this beer was 13%. 2019, they took it down to 11.2, and the product now is at 10% even. So it has progressed down. And I do, like I said, I do believe in 2019 they were still independent. Doesn't have the label on there. I think it was around that time is when they sold out the Constellation. So not too bad. I'll sit back and got my BuMpY score page here. So we'll see where that gets us. So cheers, guys.
Cheers, man.
Great to do the Malty Monday
Cheers,
again. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah. A unicycle.
All right. A little bit of like a creamy lacing on top. It's pretty good. The head definitely went down. There's a nice smoky, woody aroma. It's definitely not too overpowering, but I still get like a nice dark chocolate, roasted coffee, and caramel sweetness, and I'd say raisin, as far as like dried fruits, raisin. Oh no! Oh, I thought you froze for a second there, BuMpY.
Oh no. Oh well, I hope not.
I kind of got. I don't want to trick my brain into thinking so, but it kind of reminded me of bacon a little bit. Just like a little hint of it.
Like microwave bacon versus.
No, not microwave bacon. There's actually a little bit of bacon. Not gonna lie. It smells pretty good though. It's not overly smoky to the point where it kind of dominates over the other aromas, but it's got that nice hint of smoke, rounded out by the robust porter aromas, I guess you could say. 6.2%, not noticeable, but definitely right around the porter range for ABV. But yeah, I'm excited to try this. Cheers, guys. I'm gonna dive into it.
Cheers, Tanner.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, that smoke comes through on the palate. your initial sip, it's creamy, chocolatey. Creamy chocolatey, maybe like a little hint of like vanilla and some dried fruits. And then on the finish, it's like a roasty coffee flavor masked by smoky. There was like a little hint of like a smoked meat, but it's got a lingering smokiness. It's not like an overpowering smokiness where it's overly astringent, but it's a nice smoky aftertaste that lingers, but it's not to the point where it makes your mouth overly dry. It's got a very clean finish, I will say. Carbonation is definitely light. It's I'd say it's medium bodied. Definitely not like full, rich, robust body to it, but it's got like a medium body. But I will say it's more along the lines of like a milk chocolate up front with a little bit of like caramel sweetness. Like I said, it's kind of got like a creamy vanilla, smoky, maybe like smoked meats combined with a roasty coffee aftertaste. It's actually pretty crisp for being such a more a robust style where you're going to get stronger flavors. It's actually kind of a little bit, it seems very clean. It's like a clean smoke flavor. Whereas I've had some beers that are smoked and that smoke totally dominates over the other flavors. And it seems like you just get a hint of it. Smoky flavors, in my opinion, even with scotch, is very hard to do right because if you add too much, that could totally dominate over the beer. And I think this is very well rounded and balanced to the point where you're still picking up some of those other complex flavors, but you still get a good enough of smoky flavor to the point where you're like, oh yeah, that's a good amount of smoky flavor. You know, like smoky flavor is overpowering, or the smoky power, the smoky flavor is underwhelming. But yeah, I actually like this. It's pretty good. I'd say this is sitting around maybe like 60 degrees. It's not completely warm. It's not room temperature yet. It's still got a little bit of chill to it. So maybe next time around, maybe I can get a little bit more notes out of it. Maybe some of those other flavors start to be a little bit more dominant. But for the most part, I like it, and I could see myself possibly having one of these again. It's a style that I'm not used to trying. But yeah, I like it. Like I said, I'm a fan of the smoke. So, and one thing I didn't mention was it does have a little bit of that woody. Not gonna say oak because I don't think they use oak, but it's got that woody, slightly drier aftertaste as well. But yeah, next time around, I'll have a score on this. And yeah, cheers, guys. I like this for the most part. I like it. So, cheers.
Cheers. I believe that would be the astringency, right? The mouthfeel, the dry kind of astringent feel. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Tanner.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Here we are. Some aromas right after these messages. All right. Thank you, Miss Lance. The aromas in this. Was that you? Okay. Yeah, it's got a slight smokiness to it. A little bit of a kind of coffee roast. A slight kind of mid-range to baker's chocolate. It smells like it's going to be a chalky chocolate. If it was like a chocolate that you were going to eat, like an old chocolate bar that's kind of starting to turn to dust almost. It just has that aroma, that almost dry aroma. It's like if you walk into a damp room or you walk into a dry room. It's dry. All right. That's about it, though. It's light on that smoke, but it is present, and it does have a little bit of a fruitiness to it. I wouldn't quite be able to pinpoint apple, but yeah, it's not robust like a hickory or something. So cheers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Kind of a lighter side, medium body, but it definitely has a liftiness to the way that the beer just settles on the palate. It's got like a slight softness, a little bit of a cloudiness to it. Quite airy, I guess. Carbonation is about in the medium spectrum. It is very drying to the palate. It's got a bit of that kind of coffee roast to it. It does have that kind of mid-range to baker's chocolate. It has that kind of astringent mouthfeel as well. Almost like if you inhaled a bunch of wood fiber or something. There is a bit of that, just a bit of that smokiness that's in there. This one's definitely not overly smoky, but I guess, according to what the style of it should be, it shouldn't be overly smoky. If you're looking for something that's super smoked out, you'd be looking for like a Rausch beer of sorts. Yeah, it's just a slight fruity smokiness. Bitterness on this, I would say, is just about moderate. It's moderate to a little bit lower side, moderate bitterness. Seems to be kind of on the earthier side, earthier tone bitterness. The hops really don't play much of a role as any flavor notes throughout the beer. So I think that they're doing their job. They're just that tail end bitterness without being too aggressive. The base porter definitely shines through. It's a very basic porter. This is a robust porter, so if I was drinking this as a robust porter, I would want more flavors and water coming through. This drink's more like a very standard porter. I would go with more along the lines of an English porter. And yeah, but I think they did a great job with representing what the style would be. So let's go back to the full panel like so, and we can just go ring around the rosy and give your scores, talk more about your beer, and then after that we can all do our shout outs and promos.
Nice.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So one thing I didn't mention at all, no alcohol presence on the nose. Really not boozy at all whatsoever. I mean, it's not clocking at the highest ABV, but 11.2 is fairly big beer. Yeah, man, I'm just missing out. Bacon, like I said. I think the coffee, like I said, it's been a couple of years. This beer's been in the bottle. I think the coffee's mellowed out very well. It's not astringent, accurate in any standpoint. Very drinkable product. Honestly, I think it's very, very good. My scoring, though, I did BuMpY's 50-point inspection because sometimes I do that to see if I'm in the ballpark of what I'm actually thinking without it. And this lands about right where I think it should. So on the 50-point inspection, it's landed at a 47 out of a 50, which lands it in the excellent range, just gets it in there. So of an overall score out of 100, that would land it at a 94 out of 100, and I think that's right about where this should be at. It's not the world class. This is very, very good beer. But might blow some people's socks off, but yeah, it's possible. It's very possible I could find one of those.
I don't even know if English
Yeah,
or not.
it's another style we didn't do because
It's hard to find. Yeah.
I don't
So
even-
yeah, 94 out of 100 for me. I definitely think that's right where it should be at. Honestly, when I saw the 47 out of 50, I thought that was a little too high. But then you double it, and I can't remember what they said on Untapped. I think this got like a 4.3 or a 4.4 on Untapped. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed I didn't get to try the higher ABV one at 13%. But hey, it is what it is. You got to give and take, get what you get. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Thanks, miscellaneous.
I like this
Yeah.
thing. It's efficient, but I can't stand it.
Now, thinking about what miscellaneous has, so right off the rip, I'm going to give mine a 92. With that being said, it has a complexity to the beer, but it's a light complexity where you're picking up multiple flavors, but they're not robust, I guess you could say. They're not like super dominant. They're on the lighter side. The beer itself is a little on the thin side, in my opinion. I could see a lot of people really enjoying this because it would be one of those beers where it's like, oh, try a smoked beer, and they'd be like, oh, wow, that's nice. That's nice, light smoke. Me personally, I wouldn't mind like something like what Miscellaneous had, like the Imperial Smoked Porter, where you're getting like super robust, chocolatey, roasty coffee, that sweetness and the dried fruits. I'm leaving room for improvement of like an Imperial where all those flavors are going to be super, super dominant. And sometimes you pick up one over the other. But this one, it just kind of seems like it's a very well balanced blend of all the flavors together. But like I said, it's just it's kind of on the side of thin. And I kind of wish I was also kind of thinking about what BuMpY said about how it doesn't have like that robust porter like flavor. It's just kind of like a somewhat laid back, robust porter, which is, it's supposed to be robust. It's supposed to be very dominant with these porter flavors. And I'm getting the flavors that you would get, and even like that little bit of that bacon, and the smoke comes through very. You get that smoke, but it's not as dominant as I would like it to be. And I would really like to try to find maybe like an Imperial one. Maybe one day I'll grab one and possibly bring it to like a new brew or something. But for the most part, I'm gonna give mine a 92 out of 100. I think they did a really good job with this beer as far as being well balanced, not being overpowering with the coffee, the oakiness, that slight like smoked meats flavor, the smokiness, astringency. Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just they hit all the marks, but they're just kind of not necessarily lacking, but kind of thin. And it seems like this beer, I don't want to say watered down,
Well,
but
I think too, like it's understandable. Like this, once you get into the Imperial, I think it's almost you're hitting like a totally different style. It's barrel aged, it's different adjuncts in it, and it's kind of hard to like when you have just like a regular smoked porter things. You know what I mean? You get where I'm coming from. Different caliber of beers, I guess.
now a quick question: do they do smoked stouts? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure,
sounds
there's more
good.
stouts out there.
I'm sure there is. I don't know how many I've come across or I've forgotten that I've
Yeah, I've
drank.
never seen them before. That's why I asked.
I mean, porters and stouts are so close to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes they are the same thing.
Yeah.
It depends on.
Now, what makes a porter and what makes a stout? ABV.
Oh, that's something we don't
Oh
want to
boy, we could talk about that till the cows come home.
Yeah.
People still debating that stuff.
Yeah, basically, it just comes down to whatever the brewer says.
It's a good topic. that's a good topic there, miscellaneous. Inebriated thoughts, the difference between a porter and a stout.
That'd be a whole show.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. But yeah, 92 for me. Cheers, guys. Sorry, I was trying to get my point across, but there's just so many aspects of the porter and the smokiness. Like I said, I really do like the heavily smoked. Like I like heavily peated Scotch, like a like Ardbeg 10-year. You want a heavy peated Scotch. You grab an Ardbeg 10, and that'll punch you in the face with the smoke. If you want to know what a smoky Scotch tastes like, you grab one of those, and I love it. Give me all the smoke.
Roush beers, dude. I love Roush beers.
I'm not sure if I've ever had a Roush beer. I'd like to try one of them. So.
I'll point you in the right direction after the show.
Thank you.
Sweet. And I did look it up. There are
Yeah.
that are smoked. Dark Horse puts one out. I think Stone or somebody had one. I don't know. There was a few different ones.
Ooh. Sapporo?
Sapporo?
Sorry. Never mind.
I will say I'm getting a little bit more of the.
Sapporo?
I will say as this warms, that smoky meat flavor starts to stand out a little bit more.
All right. Well, you keep your meat to yourself. I'm going to talk now. We got a score for this beer through my 50-point inspection. I gave it a 6 out of 6 for the appearance. The head, I mean, it didn't really, it stuck around for a little bit, but it did go down to nothing. But still, I mean, it's appropriate for a porter. It did have a nice head at the beginning. The aromas on it, pretty nice. I do wish that maybe there was more smokiness present, but I think they did a great job. But I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 for the aromatics. Flavors, same thing. I wish that there was actually a bit more robustness out of the malts themselves. I mean, I am getting chocolate. I do like that the coffee that's there, there's a kind of roasted coffee thing, and it doesn't get to that point where I'm not like a big black coffee drinker. So I'm glad it doesn't go that far with the coffee. It's noticeable, but still decent. Maybe it's just the way that the chocolate flavor kind of comes off with it. But yeah. And once again, maybe a little bit more of that smokiness, or maybe a different smoke. Maybe if they didn't use applewood, maybe if they used something else. 16 out of 19 for the flavors. Body, it's kind of that lighter medium, but it's fluffy in the mouthfeel and all that. So that's nice. I'll give it a 5 out of 5. My overall was an 8 out of 10, which scores this at a 43 out of 50, which is going to put it in the very good range. That would basically be a 4.3 on Untapped if I was to do a 5-point scale. But what it did rate on Untapped out of 1,142 ratings was a 3.66. So I am quite a bit higher than what the average person thought of this beer. But that's okay, because everybody has their own opinions. And I was doing it more based off of what we read, or what I read.
Yeah.
Out of the how it's supposed to be, and just kind of pinpointing, okay, well, it is supposed to be a little bit more tamed. You are supposed to get more of the base out of it versus just all smoke and stuff. So I think, yeah, they did a fantastic job.
See, I like that aspect, like that aspect of the show is like, is it by the style? It's not like you pick it up, you're drinking it, does it taste good? Is it what it's supposed to be is a big thing of it too, you know?
And you got
anybody could say, oh, this is a smoked porter, and it could be totally off the style guidelines of where it's supposed to be at.
Yeah.
Get a great score, but it's really not by the book, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was pretty much just about to say that same thing. I do like being on the show for the first time. I think that's cool that you kind of learn what the style is. And then that kind of helps you with your rating. Because it's like you don't want to compare it to other different styles because this is the style of it. That's what it should be rated by. You know.
We're gonna do all coconut beers now too. You know?
Oh boy.
I'm just kidding. That'd be a show that Joe would actually join up on, though.
I don't know. He likes the coconut beer, so.
Well, yeah. We going around shouting stuff out, doing that?
Oh yeah. Like I said, shout outs for me, Thursday night beer session. I'm gonna try and do something different. Like I said, I want to do this show called I want to kick the new thing off, man. My show, my Thursday night beer session. I'm always rotating. I try to keep it fresh, not do the same thing over and over, very repetitive. I like get the community involved. We do drinking games sometimes, just fun stuff. So I honestly would like to roll out this Thursday a show on. I want to call it inebriated thoughts. I want to pick up some bulletin points, some big headliner things in beer, and just sit down and have a discussion. Not so much a beer review show, but something where we can hit five bulletin points and sit down and have some serious discussion, serious thoughts with people throughout the country, maybe even not even in the U.S. There's lots of people out there on the beer tube, so I would like to get a few people together to talk about that. I got to work on that. I got to get on the grind and not slack like I did last week. So that's pretty much it. You can go check out Josh at Beer Bowl Discussions every Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern. Also, right after my show on Thursdays is The Hot Seat with Leprechaun TV. You can go over there, check him out at 9 o'clock Eastern. Barbecue banter, interviews, recipe swaps, restaurant stories, all kinds of things going over there. Good people, great host. Beer Man's always the best. I don't have the pictures, otherwise I'd shout them out. I always forget all that stuff, so I'll leave it up to one of you two fine sirs to take care of that. Oh, he's pointing at you, Tanner. It's your job now.
Well, he looked deep in his phone already, so I was kind of picking mine up.
But yeah.
All right. So tomorrow, Beer and Cheese Tuesday. Yeah, grab yourself a white IPA.
Trailer Park Boys. I like your style. I did remember that.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that show. I'm pretty excited for that one. So for Beer and Cheese, grab yourself a white IPA or a Oud Bruin or any Imperial beer, and match it up with a Gouda, goat, or any style of cheese that begins with C. So that's Beer Man's Beer and Cheese, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. his time, right?
What?
6 our time, 3 his time.
Yeah.
Oh, Beer and Cheese is 5 his time. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, Beer and Cheese.
3 hour gaps. Yeah.
Yeah. I like your style is 6, right?
Yeah.
6 Eastern. All right. You still going, or?
No, I'm sorry.
I didn't want to.
I'm just gonna shut up now.
I didn't want to steamroll over you. So Wednesday I'll be doing my Will It Mix, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Grab any type of adult beverage that you want to mix with whatever else. You do a cuvee of beers if you really want to. I've seen some cuvees that have worked pretty well. I got to do a cuvee myself one of these shows. Beer Man and Alex, they love doing the cuvees. Beer Man's not a liquor drinker, so I kind of interpreted that into the show for people who don't necessarily drink liquor. And also that's an awesome, cuvee of beers. Pretty, Will It Mix? Take 2 different styles. They might be styles that you never thought of crossing the path with. Black and tans, it's what's it, like a porter and a like a lager? Is it a porter and lager? Black and tans? I think so.
I've had a few different interpretations of black and tan.
I've
Once
had-
we finished off the Guinness, we switched to Beck's Dark, and that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I've had it with stouts and IPAs as well.
Oh, there you go. That's different. I've never heard of that before. That'd be cool to try.
Makes sense, Jameson's got the stout castmates, so that makes sense.
That would be a cool topic too. Different cuvées that are actually made by breweries. But yeah, other than that, Saturday I do my Rate That Beer. It's a open panel live beer community beer reviews. It doesn't have to be a new beer to you. You can bring whatever you want. It could be a revisit on something. Even if you already did a review on your channel, or if you already drank the beer in the past, you could bring it on the show. Maybe you have some thoughts on it, or maybe you want to revisit it. I know me personally, hanging out with these guys, I've got a lot of knowledge of different beer styles and different beers. So it's always nice to go back to certain ones, and maybe you have more of an appreciation for that beer. Even like if you did like Malty Monday, like one of these shows, where you actually realize the style of the beer. And maybe like me personally, a lot of the beers that I drank when I first started drinking beer, I was a novice. So if you want to, maybe you get a little bit more, you get a little bit more information on certain styles, go back to it, and then you review something. It's always cool to see your thoughts on something that maybe you had a year ago, 2 years ago. Shout outs for other people. I'm going to shout out Josh, Last Beer Bowl Discussions. Go check him out Sunday, 8 p.m. He starts the panel with a beer review, pulls out the bowl, does a nice beer review, then opens up the panel and talks about different beer topics, kind of along the same lines as what Miscellaneous is doing with the inebriated thoughts. More of a discussion on beer itself. And then he kind of branches off sometimes to other topics, which is really cool, And yeah, also check out Thomas Mello 75, Massachusetts Beer Reviews, also known as Eric. So if you look him up, Thomas Mello 75, but a lot of his beer reviews is Massachusetts Beer Reviews. But his name's Eric. Go check him out. And he does Wild Card Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Bring any type of adult beverage. Don't be a douche. Thanks for having me tonight, BuMpY. And I could see why Miscellaneous said that he enjoyed this show so much, because just being on one,
got a lot of different beer.
Yeah, and it's like
The thrill of the hunt's good too.
Beer is a hobby of ours, and learning about different styles, and a lot of the times, like me personally, like I don't know specifically about a certain style, but when you hear somebody explain it, then you start to realize, like, oh, okay, yeah, you know what I mean. You start to have more of a appreciation for beers. But yeah, enough rambling from me, and thanks for having me tonight, Bob. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Well, thank you guys for being here. Now I'm going to shout out somebody. Shout out Alex the Beer Master, but I don't want to go and talk about what he's doing on his show or try to say who he might shout out. So I'm just going to bring him up so he can do it.
Hey,
cheers, Alex. Well,
cheers. Thanks, brother. Again, sorry I didn't get the Porter, but such is life in big city. So, shout outs. Food Friday, we're going to be doing what's it called? Fruit bowls. We're going to be doing that. Looking forward to doing it around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then Thursday night, we're going to be doing Alex and Friends around 11:30. Again, I'm probably going to change the time probably after this week because, but we'll see how it goes. So 11:30 Thursday night, Alex and Friends. And then tomorrow night, around 9 o'clock, I'm going to be doing a 3-year YouTube anniversary. So so that's when we'll be doing it around 9 o'clock. So legendary BuMpY will be there. Whoever is on this panel right here will be there. So yeah, man, time goes by. Although I think I've been on.
We have to wait until after Beer and Cheese, though.
Oh yeah, so it's 9 o'clock. Well, I mean, but if it goes on, I'll just do it between 9 o'clock, 9:30. But again, we're not going to be up all night because I got work on Wednesday. Otherwise, I'd be partying all night. But yes, so between 9 o'clock and 9:30 tomorrow night, we will be doing that since the legendary Beer Man is going to be doing Beer and Cheese. So stay tuned for those shows and enjoy.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex.
Anytime.
Hey, Alex.
And I'll do the sign out when you guys are ready.
Thank you. That's the other reason I brought you up.
Yes.
So, my promos. I have my 50-point inspection videos. Those are still going. Put them out on Wednesdays and Fridays. And What are you doing, buddy? Fireworks are going off.
Geeking out. That's what he's sketched out.
Live shows Monday night. I do have it's Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern is the start of the show. Typically just have one show going. We do have the New Brew, which is just a show where you bring a beer that you've never had before to join up on panel. It's kind of a 3-part show. If you don't know, if you guys haven't seen it, then it's basically beer review, general chit chat, and a free for all, and then a little question and answer thing for the panel members. That will be back next Monday. We'll be doing the new. Just Kobe's over here. He's just scratching randomly at things because he's afraid of the fireworks. It's gonna knock my gin over. Yeah. So New Brew will be back next Monday, and eventually, I think we can try to get another Malty Monday because at some point, because that English mild, we haven't done that. So if you guys
English mild,
there's a couple of them that we can actually really possibly get, and there's some that we just can't get in the U.S.
Yeah, there was a few of them that were very hard to get, but
English
I have seen
mild.
English mild pop up. So if you guys can find an English mild, collect it up, and we'll try to get that. We'll try to get that in when we can, without them expiring. If you guys are collecting them, we'll try to get it within the next few months, anyways. Yeah. Other than that, cheers to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys all for being here, chit chatting, and also just watching, viewing the show. Appreciate you. Thank everybody here in the panel tonight as well. Miscellaneous Brew Reviews, East Coast LQ Reviews.
Cheers, guys.
Alex the Beer Master.
Hey,
And yeah,
BuMpy, could I shout out one more thing?
sure.
I forgot to say I just released a 4th of July video. I did the popsicle rocket. If you guys are interested, it's a 450 North beer, and I got some flags behind me and stuff. I'm sitting at the table with the what was it called? Can't think of the name of it. Losing my mind.
Hey, Ken, you have to find that beer because I'm going to try it.
Losing my mind. The umbrella. Oh my gosh! I'm sitting at the my table. I had a cookout last night, and I just released the popsicle rocket. So if you guys are interested, go check that out. And happy Independence Day to everybody.
Yes. Yeah. Happy Independence Day. Happy 4th of July. Happy America's birthday, whatever you want to call it. But thank you all for being here. Alex.
This is Alex the Beer Master, and we will see you all on the next live stream and the next video. This is Alex Beer Master signing out. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you all.
Happy
Keep on spinning.